Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through the meeting at Rosehill Gardens this weekend. Yes, we're back to Metro Racing in Sydney at Rosehill. We've got plenty of best bets coming your way, a lot of value in there as well. The $100 hot seat later in the show, and of course our charity multi. And Mike, another week goes by and I was just there at work thinking, hang on, I haven't heard about Winx for a while. And then all of a sudden, there's the press release. She's got a stand named after Randwick. How good's that?
How good is it, mate? Yeah, we know the grandeur of racing, but what a fun name it is. What a fun stadium I hope it is. And it's a good part of the race course down there. Remember those old days, $80, all you could eat, all you could drink. I think it was 20 years ago, mate.
The lawn party.
The lawn party, that's what I was thinking.
Yes,
you and me back in the day,
I do remember those, mate. They didn't always end too well, but it got us into racing, didn't it? And, well, I guess I reckon we've come a bit of a long way since there, mate. It's into all the analysis now. And, well, speaking of analysis, Mike, have we got to stick to Brisbane and analyse that race last week, the 10,000? Are you still smarting after Osborne Bull still coming down or what?
Yeah, tough week last week. The $100 strip out as well. We didn't make any money in Sydney.
No,
and Osborne Bulls, we talked about him on the show before the race. I think Doomben beat him, but he's a horse that always comes second, isn't he?
He is, and it's, well, look, there's a lot of good racing back in Doomben this week, Mike. Can we make up for it up there?
I think we can. I think hopefully Doomben doesn't beat Shalala and Youngstar.
Yep.
They'll be booming home. Hopefully the tight turn, the tight track, doesn't beat those two Waller runners. They're very good mares.
They sure are. Well, that's Queensland, but we've got a big meeting to get stuck into at Rosehill, Mike. Absolutely clear skies above Sydney as well. So take us through these track conditions. It's been a while since we've been back at Rosehill.
We are back at Rosehill Gardens. I am so happy. Scone was so tough for me last week. The rails and the true. The last meeting was a few weeks ago, wasn't it, during the carnival, March the 30th. It was pretty fair most of that carnival, and with the rail true this weekend and sunny skies as well, it should be a fair track again.
All right, well, look, there's a look at the track conditions, Mike. We know that the sun's out. We've got plenty of best bets to get through on the program. We're taking you through 5 races in depth. So which ones are they going to be this week?
Big card, 9 races, back to 9 races after 8 last week. A fantastic card top to bottom. Obviously, all those Hall of Fame races.
Yep.
With a few people being inducted into the Hall of Fame. We're starting with an interesting 2-year-old race, race 1. Some big winners last start in that race. We like that form in that race. Race 3, a few good progressive types over the middle distance, 1,800 metres. And then the feature races, race 6, 7, the Lord Mayor's Cup.
Yep.
And race 8 over 1,200 metres too.
Okay, so the first race there that you said we're going to look into this week, and what a horse he was, Lonhro in the Hall of Fame handicap. So this one is for the 2-year-olds over the 1,200 metres. So let's have a look now at the market to get your race day started at Rosehill this weekend. And there is Diamond Thunder, the Dawn Approach gelding, led beating Hulk at Warwick Farm, who is second favourite here, $4.40. Gets a little weight turnaround, so we'll see how you can go there. There's Kubrick there at $5, a shooting to win colt. Espanola, big win fresh at Wagga when favourite. Freaky Freckles, $8. And then, of course, well, that's one of the 2 fillies in the race, Mike. And then, of course, Snow Zone there, the Schnitzel colt. But look, Australian Bloodstock own this horse, so really interested to see what you say about this, Mike. But Diamond Thunder, this was a really good win last time.
It was a very solid win. It was okay on debut last preparation, but it's 2 starts this prep are better. Winning both easily. Diamond Thunder in the lead here. He lost a plate this day looking at the race guide.
Okay, yep.
You can see that in the comments. Hulk first up for Chris Waller. Sits on his outside, not good enough. One of the fillies runs into 4th. But one of the most interesting things out of this race is St. Ambrose, which runs 3rd, ties in to Jailbreak through other form lines.
Yes.
So maybe the form's not quite as strong as you think for a favourite, Stu.
Okay, so you've had to go back and do the form there. But look, very impressive just having a look at that win there. And look, another race we're going to have a look at now is Espanola, Mike, because look, these 2-year-olds, they don't always have to be on pace like that last one. This was back in November last year, so we're looking at its first preparation. It was slowish out of the gates here this day. But look, chasing a serious horse here in Time to Reign, obviously went on to bigger, better things, a big win over to Sort, and of course 5th in the Slipper. So some serious form lines.
Yeah, we want to see some Rosehill form lines. Good track Rosehill form lines coming to this race on Saturday, and there is none better in your form guides than this one. You've said it all, Stu. Time to Reign, one of the best horses going around. Jonah, he was a good quality horse in the carnival as well. And Oh So Hot, I think coming 4th there.
All right.
Well beaten by Espanola there. Kimichi in cheer form next start. Those form ratings rate pretty well.
Yeah, all right. It's always interesting to see how they've come on in the next preparation, these 2-year-olds. Well, let's hope the form and the key factors can sort all out for us in race number 1 this weekend as we light them up with the gold, Mike. Who has got the form starting the day?
We only just gave the form rating to Diamond Thunder.
Okay.
Only just. Hulk gets a weight turnaround. Espanola doing really well at Wagga last start. And Jailbreak, like we said, we linked the form to Diamond Thunder too.
Okay, so it's Diamond Thunder there for the form. As we really get into this race now, Mike, let's get all the analysis started. And the first key factor, as always, is progression.
They're looking for 2-year-olds with more upside. Hulk, we could have given him progression, but second up for his last train, last preparation, didn't do much. Kubrick's improving, we think, second up. Espanola's definitely improving. And Freaky Freckles flogged them first up.
All right, so a few there, a bit of value for the gold bars with progression. What about the distance?
Looking for distance, horses are like the 1,200 metres. We think Kubrick up to 1,200 metres will like it, even though he didn't beat much on debut. And Jailbreak, 1,300 metres first up was too much. Back to 12 was better for him.
Okay, so Jailbreak's levelled up to Espanola and Diamond Thunder here, Mike, as we round the turn, getting back to the good track.
Well, Rosehill, good track. We watched the replay. Nothing more to say. Espanola gets the gold bar.
Espanola kicks as we hit the line. Who's getting the position in run for the 2-year-olds here?
Small field, will trust the jockeys.
All right, so there's a look at all the analysis there, Mike. And look, I mean, you said it from the start. There's been a lot of, really good wins from a few of these 2-year-olds. They've all come back the next season. So look, we've got to have a bet here in race 1, or do we? That's the thing we've got to look at. Let's have a look now. Bring all the ratings and, of course, the odds in here. You mentioned you made a really good case for this Jailbreak, Mike. And look, it's only a length off the lead there at $13. This favourite, though, short in the market, but no good thing on our ratings.
No good thing at all. Like we said, there's linked form between Diamond Thunder and Jailbreak, which is why they're right next to each other.
Okay.
Look, Hulk can improve for Waller, but second up last time he was only okay. He's in the mix. Kubrick needs to improve because the form wasn't very good. We've talked about them in the replays. We've talked about them throughout the preview. And they're the two bets. Espanola, not Espanola, I think I've been calling it. That's the best bet for us. And Jailbreak, great value. On pace second up. We think he can improve over 1,200 metres. They're both great odds.
All right, well, that's what we need to kick off the day at Rosehill. A nice $7 winner to get things started. Espanola for us. The next race we're going to have a look at is race number 3, and we're out to the 1,800 metres, the Might and Power Hall of Fame handicap. What a horse he was, and of course this market could take a turn, so beware punters. Aliferous, we're going to wait to see where they go with Welsh Legend as well, but it is Aliferous on top here. The Adrian Knox form at $4.80. Mushareb, really keen on this horse, Mike. $5.50, half a length of Fuchu out to the 1,800 metres. Welsh Legend, as I said, look out for it potentially going to Queensland, but here in the market, $6.50. Jazzland, a really good run fresh, and the winner Vega nearly winning there again on Wednesday at the midweeks. Madison Avenue won 3 out of the last 4. We know it's going to be on pace. So you win another really running on well fresh, and of course Romany Girl, the same form lines as the winner in the Adrian Knox, Mike. But yeah, look, you've got to be careful here with the punters, I think, because this market could take a turn. Mushareb, we've seen this replay, Mike. This is good.
It's a very good replay. It's Kensington, 1,550 metres, and you said you really like this horse, Stu, which is code, I think, for I've already backed it. Give me some good news, Mike. It's a funny ride this day, isn't it? Sort of settled in a good spot. They went at a little bit of a steady tempo in the midsections, and just when you think the jockey should really go for him and pick up, he just takes a little while to get his balance. The last 100 metres, he was strong through the line. He's a progressive import. He was good first up. He did enough second up, and he gets to 1,800 metres on Saturday. So important.
And what do we think about it? Some of these imports at second start, sometimes just getting up in distance. What do you make of that?
Well, he's at his second preparation already. He had one start last preparation. So third up, second preparation, a good recipe for an import.
All right, well, there's a look at one horse. Let's have a look now, probably the form race here. It is the Adrian Knox, Mike. So Aliferous, well, what a dream run this run, getting up along the rails. But there's Welsh Legend in the black hat, and of course, Romany Girl as well there, Mike. Take us through this race, because there's obviously a Group 3 over the carnival.
Well, this time of year, you can pretty much bet on 3-year-olds getting back to benchmark grade. They're the ones to bet on. So when I first picked up the form guide for this race, I thought Welsh Legend, Romany Girl, that's it. But then you go through your form, you start to look at it. Amangiri came 13th, Mariciabo came 10th, Rocknabar went to Queensland and came last.
Okay.
Mrs. Madrid there in the yellow and red went to benchmark grade on a Wednesday and came like 3rd or 4th. So maybe this form line isn't the best form line coming back to benchmark grade.
All right, very interesting thoughts. It is a good race to have a look at, though. What a ride that was by the winner on Aliferous. Now let's have a look at all the key factors and, of course, all the form here, Mike, for the Might and Power handicap over the 1,800 metres.
Yeah, more based on her 4th in the Oaks. Aliferous gets the gold bar, but we think she's on the bus to Queensland.
Okay, well, there is one, and there are a few in the race. What about the key factors, Mike? Who has got all the progression?
Well, Jazzland definitely has progression. Whether he likes Rosehill, not to question. We'll get to that soon. So you win progressing second up, can improve. And Romany Girl, look, she's still a 3-year-old filly. She still can do more.
A handicap, and look at that. They are all together here. Mike, what about this distance, the 1,800?
So important. Mushareb up to 18. We just talked about Jazzland up to 18. Big ticks for those two geldings. Okay, what about track conditions, Mike? It is the good track at Rosie. This is the key factor for this race. I think there's one win from 36 starts at Rosehill Gardens in this race. Mushareb's never been there before, so he should like it better than most. Welsh Legend's okay. So you win, the only horse to ever win at Rosehill Gardens in this race. There's a few that hate it.
How about this race in the key factors? Mushareb just sticking his head out in front from an absolute wall of horses here. The race is on, Mike. Position and run.
This is the killer Mushareb.
Okay,
Good barrier, jumps well, on the pace, so hard to beat.
All right, well, look, he has kicked away there late, but so many of those knocking on the door there, Mike. It's race 3, so still early in the day. Time for a bet. Mushareb for me. Let's have a look to see where we're playing here, Mike. $5.50. I love the way he just extended there late. But as you said, the benchmark race is the big question here. The Adrian Knox form. Are you saying you've potted it here? There they are in behind. They're 480 and the 650. They are the ones with the Adrian Knox form.
Well, I think I potted it, but you texted me, mate, this morning while I was doing the form for this race, saying Mushareb's immoral. So hopefully your text didn't bias me. But yeah, the fillies, they're going to go, all right, Romney Girl can win, I think. So you win can improve second up. Eugene's pick, she's not too bad. But like Stu said before, Mushareb, we think's immoral on Saturday each way. On pace, so hard to beat up to 1,800 metres.
Okay, $5.50. Go Team Freedman there in race number 3. There's a look at 2 races this weekend. Stick around after the break and we'll have 3 more coming your way. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. We're well into the form analysis for the meeting at Rosehill Gardens this weekend. And the next race we've got coming your way is race number 6. It's for the fillies and mares over the 1,400 metres, the JB Cummings Hall of Fame handicap. And some exciting types in this race. Reel 'em in Ruby. Look at this money, $4.20 into the $2.30. A really exciting horse that'll be running on, as we know. There's Alnas, $7, an easy first up winner. Tory Joy just smoking his pipe in that trial, nice and quiet at $8. Generals wasn't far away, and the good JRA played at $9 there. And Constellations, another big winner there for Anthony Cummings. But Mike, this is a pretty serious type, isn't it? Reel 'em in Ruby, but the punters have not missed it.
Not missed it, $2.30 and well backed. We're not going to look at its win last start because you've probably seen it 1,000 times already. It was strong, it was dominant. It beat plenty in pretty good time. Let's have a look at a couple of other dominant wins and see what we think of them. Starting with the Warwick Farm win of Alnas.
Yep.
The thing about this replay is you look at it first and you think, got the inside run, got the breaks, but it's only been with Joe Pride for a couple of preps now. It was dominant in the end, and most importantly, it's a big, strong, muscular type that can progress second and third up and should love Rosehill Gardens on Saturday.
Yeah, well, look, this is just a great ride by Bowman this day, and look, this just comes to my mind. This is just arrogant, wasn't it?
Yeah, Montrachet's not a bad horse, absolutely flogs it. The time was not too bad, pretty similar to the favourite.
Okay, from one flogging there, let's go have a look at another one now. It's Constellations, and this was at Newcastle, Mike. And well, if we thought that first replay was pretty arrogant, this was just as good. Tommy Berry just sitting back, out wide, and far too good here.
Way too good. First, on debut, did nothing on a wet track, then went back to the trials, was really, really good, sliding home from last. Well backed, first up this preparation, sits midfield, shows a massive, massive turn of foot, and wins easily, but
Where's the
2-year-old second favourite and the Snowden colours up the inside was unlucky. The time was only fair, but double but. What more could you do than that, Stu? That was a pretty impressive win.
That was a good win, but there you go, mate. You've got the butts. You've got to get through all the form. That's what we're here to do. So let's get into all the analysis now, Mike. We're looking for the gold bars and who has got it for the form.
Very strong time for Reel 'em in Ruby. Just gets the best form.
Okay, so only just, but we're getting our race started now, Mike. A few of these with progression.
Yeah, you can definitely improve third up. Reel 'em in Ruby improving all the time for Snowden. Alnas, though, 4-year-olds can improve too for Joe Pride. This preparation, Constellations, for Anthony Cummings could do anything jumping up in grade.
Okay, so it's Reel 'em in Ruby out in front here. They've all got a catcher here, Mike. What about the distance?
Not too much doing, I don't think.
Okay,
No, we're all good.
So they're not making up too much ground there. The track conditions, does this suit any of these?
Yeah, I think big, strong, muscular types. Alnas and Constellations should definitely like it. Never been there before. Reel 'em in Ruby, loved Warwick Farm, was okay at Rosehill. A bit of a question for her.
Okay, so our replay horses really getting their jig on here. Right up there, Alnas levelling up with Reel 'em in Ruby, Mike. And what about position run? This could be really important here.
Yeah, a couple going forward. It should be fair. Everyone should get their chance. Levy Bank down the bottom, great. So well weighted from the country form lines, but she does miss a start and she does get a long way back.
Okay, so Reel 'em in Ruby levelled up with Alnas there as we finish the race here, Mike. Really intriguing here. I mean, 3 really big last start winners. We saw a couple of those on the replay. So let's see where our money is going here for race number 6 on Saturday. And look, $2.30. The punters have come for it, Mike. But as you say, is it one we're just going to dive into? Those ratings don't suggest it. $7, Alnas right there. And we're looking back a length and 2 lengths. And what's this? Levy Bank. You've pulled this one right out. $34, only a couple of lengths off.
Yeah, not me. The Race New South Wales Handicappers, that new handicapping system they got, it's like 8-10 kilograms off its country rating.
Right,
But going through them all, they've all got chances, those top 5 or 6. I love this race when I first looked at it. But then I keep looking at it and I just don't know what to do. So we're going to bet small, we're going to bet for value, and we're going to go bet on Joe Pride. Alnas, second up this preparation, could be doing anything.
Yep.
With such a dominant win first up. And Levy Bank, $8 a place. I know she'll be back last, but she came 4th to Princess Posh here. She could get a place.
Okay, so against the favourite there, but Joey Pride in such great form. So it's Alnas for us there in race number 6. Let's have a look now at race number 7. It is the Lord Mayor's Cup over the 2,000 metres. The listed race, and it is the feature of the day. And well, JRA plate form dominating the market here. Grey Line at $5, winning that JRA plate, pushing through really well at the 150 metre mark. Live and Free, really keen to see this horse, Mike. Great behind Fuchu, jumping sharply from the 1,550 at $5.50 on the next line. Emperor's Way, of course, second to Grey Lion. 60s Groove might be going to Queensland, $7. Abdon, the Wagga Cup winner. What a day that was down there in Wagga, $8.50. Girl Tuesday, broke a run of outs, didn't it? $8.50. Tamarack, a big odds winner last start. But Grey Lion, Mike, this was a pretty good win last start.
And arguably in a harder race than he faces on Saturday. This is second up for his new trainer, Matty Smith. I think it was Matt Kamani last preparation, going okay in Melbourne, a bit up and down. First up, he was okay. Second up, he was massive odds, gets the inside run and chases down Emperor's Way, who was well supported and had every single possible chance in the world. He's had a trial since then, the grey, and he looked very, very good again. He could be flying.
Yeah, well, look, by the sounds of this, Mike, he absolutely is. This is the grey horse you wanted to be on this day.
Big, strong, muscular, should like Rosehill. Well, Abdon's back there, and I think 5th or 6th. He wanted a wet track at Wagga. But I think he'll get beaten again on Saturday.
Okay, well, look, another horse that's got a few people talking is Live and Free. Already some good money for it, 8's into the $6. And, well, Mike, we've seen a few of these horses good wins. Let's take you back to last preparation. This is over the 1,800 metres at Rosehill. It had 2 pretty big wins after this, but not so much this day when it's run evened out.
No, he is a horse that can peak on his run early in his preparation when he gets fit. Deep into his prep, he's a small, muscular, compact type that just explodes once he's fit enough. This was 4th up last preparation, I think. He sprinted okay from well back. The last 150 metres, he was just, even he peaked a little bit second up over 1,550 metres. So I'm very, very worried he'll peak again on Saturday unless he's really fit. Okay, so we're always showing some good replays, and then that's one that might have just been a bit of an average run. Very good performance.
But it's in the form guide, so you've got to weigh that up. Let's get this race started now for the Lord Mayor's Cup. A great race it is. Light them up for the form, Mike. Grey Lion's got it.
We were talking about it before the race. There was a small weight turnaround to Emperor's Way, but Grey Lion could have got the gold bar on his own.
Okay, so there they are, the JRA plate form, as you would expect. Let's unravel this race now, Mike, with progression.
One thing Emperor's Way won't be doing, we think, is progressing. He usually races best second up off a freshen. Off a freshen, sometimes he takes a step back. Grey Lion can improve for Matty Smith. Live and Free can improve third up. And 60s Groove can improve second up, but I think he's going to Brisbane.
Yeah, that is the male. So it's Grey Lion just out in front here, Mike. What about this distance?
Up to 2,000 metres, 60s Groove going to Brisbane. Tamarack, a grinding type that won first up. I can't believe it. 2,000's good.
Yeah, it was a good win, but it is still Grey Lion out in front with 60s Groove if he's there. What about the track conditions? A good track?
They're all fine. Those top 3, absolute love a wet track. Abdon probably could take a step back, actually.
Okay, so they're all handling it mostly there. Mike, what about the position in run, 2,000 metres? Is it going to matter that much?
They both got dream runs last up. They can do it again. Grey Lion can settle closer from barrier 4. He was drawn wide when he got back last start. Okay, so it's Grey Lion finishing the race in front there of Emperor's Way. And, well, that's the Quinella from the JRA plate. It's actually the exacta. Let's have a look now to see if that's the way we're going to play with all the bets for the race, Mike. And, well, there it is, Grey Lion. We saw that replay. It was good. Emperor's Way, a few negatives against, as you said there, $6.50. 60s Groove on the way to Brisbane. Then, look, we're getting a little bit of a gap back here. So this boy on top, Grey Lion, that was a decent win. Yeah, decent win. Emperor's Way, we think take a step back after the fresh and Live and Free. 2,000 metres he needs a run. I think Abdon needs a wet track. This is easy. Thank God 60s Groove going to Brisbane because it makes it even easier. Another each way moral for the day. Grey Lion going forward from the inside barrier. He was so strong in the trial, he has to run well.
Okay, well, they're a great line. And, of course, you want him to run well, Mike, for that stable. Is it Maddie Smith? Is it Lakari? You want to be doing well?
Yeah, my little filly. I'll go and see her on Monday. She's still a 2-year-old, but hopefully she'll go okay soon.
Excellent, mate. Well, good luck with that. We're here to kick on, though. The last race we're going to have a look at is race 8 on the weekend at Rosehill Gardens, over the 1,200 metres. So you think, what a horse this was. None up to that standard in here though, Mike, but Deprive looks a really good runner here for Godolphin. Very exciting, and a few of these are very fresh in the race. There's Deprive, $2.60, a winner 4 from 7, launching late in that huge trial. Desert Lord will be on pace, $5. Big after that big all the way win. News Fan, $5.50 here. Another one resuming, but what a record he's got. 3 wins and 5 seconds from the 8 starts. And of course, Zonk. Well, this is the horse that's up and running, Mike. Reliable, leading all the way last start, beating the classy Capperjack. But Mike, Deprive here, a very good horse on the way up.
Yeah, anyone can spot this horse. What a great winning record. What a progressive horse. Is it another Osborne Bulls and Trekking? We'll never know.
Okay.
Let's find out. Just got that profile early in his preparation. This is last start before the break. Up to 1,200 metres on a good track. Smashed in the markets. Looms up. Smashes them. What else can you say, Stu?
Well, mate, you just want to see a win like this, don't you? As you said, you've just compared that to some very good horses. I don't know if it'll get that far, Mike, but look, all they can do is win and win very well. A great ride here by him.
Yeah, that's Capperjack. You mentioned it before. That was third, I think, first up or second first up. Beaten easily this day.
Okay, look, another one here that's in the market, Mike, is Desert Lord. And look, with this horse, it went forward in its trial. It was chasing charge in its trial, but I love the way it just set off the pace here. And it was just under a good hold, wasn't it? And just the way that it just finished off, that's what I wanted to see in this, and it did it well.
I really dislike this horse show. I've just lost so much money betting on it and against it. It's not the most genuine horse in the world. It races keenly, it can jump poorly, but just lately it's starting to put it all together. It looked pretty professional here. I'm terrified of it on Saturday, but is it as good as Deprive? I don't know.
Yeah, look, I don't think so, Michael. We need the key factors to tell us that, because that's what we're here to do in the race 8 number this at Rosehill Gardens this week. So with the form here, Mike, there's a lot of these resuming, obviously, so we've got to go back and light one up, though.
Yeah, Zonk rates okay at the weight. It was a big win first up, but Deprive still gets the best form rating.
Okay, so the favourite there with the form. Let's see if the others can catch up with the key factors. The first one is progression.
Zonk doesn't have it, but the top 3 favourites do. All big upside, all great winning records of late, and Problem Solver can bounce back third up.
Okay, the favourite Deprive shooting away here, Mike. What about this distance?
I don't know why they went to 1,300 metres with Miss Q, but back to 12 is better.
Okay, so light up Miss Q there. They've all got to catch Deprive, though. Can the track conditions help anyone?
Just for her again. Rosehill's good for Miss Q.
Okay, Miss Q with a couple of ticks late in the piece here, Mike, but they're all trailing. Position in run. Who does that help?
I think they're all okay, but big question mark on Deprive. Back on the inside, back in the field, $2.90. Risky. Okay, well, look, Deprive, a very, very, very exciting horse. As we know, geez, they've unveiled some this carnival and beyond, haven't they, Godolphin, Mike? But here we are. It's time for a better in the last. The Godolphin horse Deprive, I mean, $2.60. The punters have really come for it. Is it the right price, though? We've got it out there by a few lengths. All the other favourites right there. Looks to be a favourites race here, Mike. But what about this price? I mean, what are you saying? That's the only question you've got to make. Obviously, look at the mounting yard maybe to see how the horses come back, but the trial suggests it's going pretty well. Desert Lord, maybe you want to see it sort of sweat up in the yard before you have a big bet on Deprive. I think he's about the right price, maybe a bit of a drift. He's definitely the best bet in the race. It's just whether you want to take that price on Saturday. Okay, well, it's Deprive the favourite there in the last for us in race 8 at Rosehill Gardens. Stick around after the break as we've got our $100 hot seat coming up and, of course, our big charity multi. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. We've had a look at 5 key races at Rosehill Gardens this weekend, but the action doesn't stop there. Of course, we need a tip and a bet in every race, Mike. So take us through the rest on the card. I'm looking for some good value here because a few of those replays we've seen, we're pretty confident on. Yeah, we got a couple of these last week, but nothing in the $100 hot seats. I hope there's a couple of winners again, or a few more than a couple. Espanola, $7, we talked about that. Green Rain from Matty Dunn. Bit Addo first up, a great horse. Mushareb, we talked about him. Star of the Seas drawn wide in that Wallerathon race 4. So many Waller runners in that race. Sky Ray, a sneaky one first up, definitely trialled okay. Almas, $7. Grey Lion, $5. Deprive, $2.60. And Red Current, very strong last start. Hasn't got a jockey booked on Thursday, but we think he can win $11.
Okay, nice there. I like some of those prices in that, Mike. It looks like a good day. What about the $100 hot seat? We had a bit of a strip out there last week at Scone, so let's get back on board with the $100 for those heading to the track on Saturday at Rosehill Gardens.
You've been very kind to me tonight and let me off the hook, Stu. If it happens again, I'm sure you'll give it to me next week. A little bit of edge in race 1, Espanola and Jailbreak. Good prices there. We could have put more money on that. But 2 rock-solid each-way bets in race 3 and race 7. Mushareb, $20 each way, and Grey Line. And just sneaking $5 on Levy Bank. She's so genuine. And $8 a place, but it'll be a terrifying watch because she misses the start every time.
Yeah, you've made a good case for that horse. So there it is, and a place. Mike, the charity hot seat, now the charity multi, I should say. Now we need as much money as we can for the National Jockeys Trust because we'll be down there next week in Melbourne presenting them a cheque. So I want as much as we can here out of the multi this week. I want to present the big cheque. We need this to go over the $1,000. So let's start it off. We've got Mushareb, $5.50 in race number 3, the good thing of the day. Race number 7, Grey Line, really solid. You had it each way in the $100 hot seat. We'll just have it for a win. So there's 10 at the $27.50. Now let's go to some place horses.
Some extra ones.
Espanola, $2.10 a place. Levy Bank, who you've pretty much declared a place, haven't you? Race 6. That $10 is going to net you a $17 multi. And look, if all these come off, Mike, and that's going to be an absolute grandstand finish if Levy Bank misses a start and charges home, $10 on all those at $462. That will take us skyrocketing.
It will skyrocket. The minimum we'll give the National Jockeys Trust is $1,000 next week. The maximum, looking at that, could be $6,000, Stu. Wow.
Let's get it done. And look, for everyone heading out there to Rosehill Gardens this week, check out the raceguide.com.au for all your feature profiling. That's it from us on Key Factors tonight, but stick around. We'll see you again next week.
Enjoy Rosehill Gardens.